Okay, we got us a car here that the owner brought over to him. Of course, somebody owns the car. We didn't get it at a junkyard, and it wasn't just dropped off here by a fairy or a leprechaun. But anyway, so we got us a car here, and it's an old classic car. It's a car that's telling us that the owner wrecked it. And as you can see, I went ahead and replaced the fender on this car. And another thing that we're going to replace is the bumper itself. We got to put another bumper on it. And then if we look over here, we got a rubber piece. This is the old school classic style bumper filler, and it is made of rubber, plastic rubber type material. So we got to replace the one that was over here because it got completely demolished. And if you look right there, that's the piece we're talking about. Another thing about these old nasty rubber pieces is they start to get hard and brittle, if I can get a hold of that. And you can see that's one of the reasons this one gave out on us, because it got so brittle that it cracked and broke. So it's trash, we're not going to use it. What we are going to do though, is if we look right up here in this corner, we got another one right here. But the problem is that this thing has got a lot of paint buildup on it, and I really don't like the way it looks. For me to sand this down, by the time I get done sanding it, it's going to take hours and hours of my time, and it's not going to come out the way that I want it to, because I'll probably ruin the piece while I'm sanding it. But what we are going to do to it is we are going to remove that paint, and I'm going to show you how to do that on these old classic pieces of rubber plastic fillers and other parts on your vehicle that you might have to restore along the way of restoring your old classic car.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
So before we get started on removing the paint on this, what we want to do is we want to inspect it very closely to make sure that it's a worthy piece to use. A lot of these old pieces are brittle once again and can get ruined very, very quickly. I do notice that there's a crack in this one right here, so we really want to pay extra close attention to that area, and we don't want to ruin it any more than it already is. These are very hard to find and very rare, finding them in the junkyard to reuse. So we want to be extra careful in taking care of our part as much as possible. Now, the thing that we're going to need to do this is we're going to need a cup, we're going to need a throwaway brush, and we're going to need some steel wool, coarse. This is coarse steel wool. We're going to need some of that. And the main ingredient is this can right here. I'm going to go ahead and turn that around. Aircraft stripper paint remover. Now, we're going to use this on the plastic. Don't fret, don't fear yourself. It will not eat the rubber. What it will do is remove the paint from our rubber piece, so we can go ahead and give this guy a nice high quality finish that he deserves. Now, when using your aircraft stripper, you want to be very, very careful and cautious, and always wear your safety equipment. You see, I got rubber gloves on, and one more thing you want to use is your safety glasses. Make sure you're wearing safety glasses when you're around this. All it takes is one little flick of the brush and stripper will go in your eye, and it will hurt like hell. And it can possibly blind you. When you open the can of stripper, you want to open it very slowly, because air builds up inside it from the heat and from different weather conditions. So always open that up. Before I open that, you saw that I went ahead and shook the can, and that's something else you want to do. And we're not going to get a lot of stripper out of here. We're going to be very careful. And you're probably looking at this hand right here and saying, oh, you're supposed to be wearing another glove. Well, I ran out of gloves, so we're going to have to do this with one glove today. I got to go to the store and get me some more gloves, so hopefully we'll be careful. Another thing that you want to use around this is make sure that you're in a good area where there's a lot of wind flow, where you got good flow of wind blowing and air. Don't use this in a contained room because the fumes can be toxic to your health. And also another thing is you should keep a small bucket. You can see here's a bucket. We're not going to do that. This is a small piece. But you should always keep some water handy with a rag in case you get it on your skin or it does splash into your face. You can remove it very quickly because water dissolves this and actually kills the chemical in it from stripping. So what we're going to do is take our brush with our stripper and then we'll just go like this real carefully. And you can see how I'm doing that. I'm doing a one-stroke deal on it. And I'm just being careful just to get it on there only. We're not slopping it around. And if you look close enough, you can see the stripper is already taking effect and stripping the paint as we are sitting here. We're going to go ahead and let that sit for approximately 5 minutes. When we come back, we'll start removing the paint and possibly put one more coat on it. But this is all you have to do. This is the easy way of doing it. And stripping these little pieces takes very, very few minutes. Let's go ahead and let that dry, or penetrate, I might say. Let's go ahead and let it work itself in. I'm going to go ahead and add one more coat to it. And it's a one-stroke deal. Now another thing you can do with this, and I'm not going to do it, is you can take some plastic, and once you put the stripper on your piece, you can take some clear thin plastic sheeting like you would use for painter's plastic, and you can cover that up. And what that will do, that will keep all the fumes inside the plastic, and all the chemicals will work twice as hard. We're not going to do that today, but that's one angle that you can go with if you got a big piece. Alright, now if you look at our piece, you can see that the paint has really started to crinkle up and the stripper has taken effect very nicely. What we're going to do to start this out is we're going to take a scraper blade and we're going to go ahead and scrape that paint right off of there, and you can see it comes off very, very quickly and easily. And since this is a small piece, I'm just going to go ahead and scrape it off right here into the trash can instead of getting my shop all dirty with this stuff. And we're just taking an old scraper blade, you see that right here, and we're very carefully taking it off. Don't worry about gouging up the plastic unless you're really gouging at it intentionally. You shouldn't have to worry about any type of problems with your rubber or plastic being ruined. Alright, so we've scraped everything off that we can. The next thing we want to do is go ahead and get that steel wool and clean it off with that. So I'm going to take my steel wool and I'm just going to go ahead and rub over it very carefully. And all I'm doing is trying to remove that top layer of paint as I'm doing it, wishing that I had 2 gloves because this does not feel good on my hands. And getting all of the residue off of it. And then what we'll do is once that's done, we'll go ahead and repeat our process, and we'll keep putting our paint stripper onto the piece until eventually all the paint will be gone. Now it usually takes approximately 3 times to really get it clean, so this is how you do it. This is the easy way of restoring your rubber parts for that old classic Cadillac maybe, or possibly the El Camino like we're working on. But any type of rubber piece that you have to remove paint off of, this is the way you want to do it, right here. And then after we wait approximately another 20 minutes, what we're going to do is we went ahead and got rid of our stripper, and now we got water in our cup, and we're going to wash that off with water, and it should be ready for paint, sanding, priming, and painting. So I'm taking my steel wool, and I am vigorously taking the paint off, as you can see, with water. It's important that you use water on this step. This is the most important part. Alright, I went ahead and rinsed it off with the water hose, and you can see all the paint is now removed from our plastic piece, or should I say at least 85–90% of it. We are now ready to prep it up using some sandpaper, possibly 180, and then smoothing it out, putting some 2K primer on it, and guess what? It's time to paint. So I hope you learned something on this video. I hope that it helped you out restoring your old classic American car that has rubber pieces. You want to be very quick, very accurate, and make sure that you pay attention to the piece that you're stripping and you don't rip it or tear it. Now remember, this was already ripped and torn when we got it, so my friend Pete didn't do that. It's documented. It's here. The owner can't blame me. But then again, I don't think he'll ever see it. So we'll see you later. Take it easy, and good luck with all your projects. Make sure to leave a comment in the comment section on this video, and also subscribe to this channel, DIY Auto School, for all the live feed videos that we post, and also videos that we post anyway. We'll see you later. Right there.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.